Hey everyone, this is Jade with Jaded Journey, and before I start the video, I want to say a few things. First off, Happy New Year! It's a new year and it's going to be the same on me, but with more dedication and more determination to succeed in my goals this year. And I hope the same for you guys. I hope you guys have a blessed year. Now, to be on a more serious note, this has been a very, very emotional couple of days for me. I'm just going to jump right into it and just explain to you what's been happening. So, on the 29th of December, I was feeling pain and weakness, and when I was at work, I work at a hospital. So like when I was at work, I was feeling this like pain in my whole right hand side, my arms going down to my legs, and I'm feeling cramping in my legs. And because I'm in the medical profession, I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe it's a blood clot, maybe you're stroking out, stuff like that. Just things that I'm a something I need to change is that I'm very pessimistic. So I'm thinking of all the worst things that can be happening to me. And because I work overnight, my coworker, as I was giving her report for the day, everything that happened, I was also telling her, I was like, I feel weak, I feel like dizzy and all this stuff. I said, I think I'm stroking out, or I'm like just playing it off like I might have a blood clot. And she was like, don't play like that. I think it's that you're just tired. You work overnight and you were up since 5 o'clock the day before. So your body is just probably completely exhausted. And I was like, okay, I feel that's right. As I was driving home, it's Georgia, y'all. It's cold, but it's not to the point where it's not Massachusetts cold, because I used to live in Massachusetts. It's not that cold. So on my way home, it's cold, and my fingers started turning black. And I was like, I need to go back to the hospital. So I went back, got into the emergency room. While I was there, my fingers started getting back to normal, had normal blood flow. Then I was like, oh, okay. That's a relief, right? They're saying they checked everything. They're saying that I'm okay. I don't have any blood clots. They did the ultrasound in my leg, everything. They're saying that I didn't have a blood clot. I look okay. A slight elevated hypertension, and I may be experiencing Raynard Syndrome. And a lot of you may not know what that is. Raynard Syndrome is when it's an autoimmune disease which gets triggered by certain temperatures, and your blood vessels to your hands collapse, which causes it to appear like a blue or black, depending on your skin tone, appearance on your skin. And honestly, if you guys want more information on it, you guys can Google it. But honestly, I didn't really think much of it, because I was like, oh, okay. Honestly, it was just like another thing that to add to the list of the things that, on top of my PCOS. So the next day I went to work in the morning, because I worked overnight Thursday night, had Friday off, and then Saturday morning I went into work. So I had to work a 7 to 7 shift in the morning. I go into work Saturday, and then I was feeling weak. And then the day before, when I was in the emergency room, the doctor was like, make sure you monitor your blood pressure, because you had a elevated blood pressure. And I was like, okay. So I had a headache all day, and I was thinking maybe it was lack of sleep, or the shift change that I had to do. Just a lot of things popping up in my head. Like I said, I'm very pessimistic when it comes to my health. So I just think of all the worst things. So long story short, I went to one of the nurses and I was like, hey, can you check my blood pressure? They checked my blood pressure. And then she was like, whoa. And when she said, whoa, I was like, oh, okay, what is it? It was 157 over 96. If you're not too familiar with your blood pressure, it's supposed to be is 120 over 80. That is like the normal, that is like where it should be. So to me, that just told me, okay, there's something wrong. She was like, okay, so you do have an elevated blood pressure. Go ahead and, sit down, relax, and then we'll check it again, in another 30 to 45 minutes. So I went to go do that. I checked that. I continued my work, but I was doing paperwork at that point. So I went back to check it after 45 minutes, and then it was like 146 over 112. At that point, she was like, I'm going to need you to go down to the emergency room. I really, really did not want to go to the emergency room, y'all. I really didn't. Reason being is that I was just there the day before. They're going to say there's nothing wrong with me. Like, in my head, I'm just like, there's going to say nothing wrong with me. And, like, I overplay some of the scenarios in my head a lot. So I was like, I don't really want to go. My charge nurse was like, you better go downstairs. You're on the clock. We check your pressure. It's too high. We really want you to go downstairs and go to the ER and get it checked out. I went to the ER. And guys, it was a fine doctor. But anyways, he goes and check it out. And I don't know if because he was there and he was like really handsome and he was like checking my pressure and stuff like that. I don't know if that's what made it elevated, but it was still high. So he was like, well, based on your results from yesterday at the ER and today and from upstairs when they were checking it, I'm going to go ahead and be confident that you have hypertension. So it turns out I have high blood pressure, y'all. Got diagnosed on December 30th of 2017. Now, I was already planning on starting my journey with weight loss again January 1st, which is today. I was already planning on doing that and I was excited. But now I'm still excited, but now it's like my body is forcing me to go on this journey because it's saying I can't take it anymore. Mentally, I might not have been ready, but my body is forcing me and say, hey girl, you going to do good on this because you have to. You have no choice now. Honestly, I do not want to be on a bunch of medications. I don't even take medication for my PCOS. So I don't like being dependent on medication. I don't want to be restrained on it. And a lot of mixed emotions came about weight loss and being overweight. And I decided to just go ahead and make a video about it. So I'm going to speak upon what I'm afraid of about weight loss and then what I'm afraid about remaining overweight. So it's just a con and con situation. The pros is when it comes to weight loss, I know there's a lot of pros, but there's some fears that people have that they don't speak about. And this is me being completely honest and open about how I feel about the situation. And I feel like in the beginning of the year, I'm going to just release all the fears that I have and not let it control me. Hopefully you guys can relate. And if you guys don't relate, then you don't relate. If any of you can relate to any of the points that I have in this video, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Listen, a lot of the times we hold in a lot of our fears and we let it eat us up inside and let us restrain us from being great. And this year I am determined to be great, so I'm going to let all my fears out. Fears that I have about losing weight. So one of the fears that I have about losing weight is failure. I failed so many times before. I just feel like I just keep repeating the same patterns even though I want to change. And it does sometimes prevent me from even trying because I don't want to have that feeling of failing. Because if you don't try, you can't fail. It may sound stupid to you, but in my mind, it has some kind of logic to it. That feeling of defeat and betrayal by yourself, that's a very emotional thing that a lot of people goes through. I know I'm not the only one. No one wants to be a loser. No one wants to fail themselves. And when I try something and I don't make it, I am very hard on myself when it comes to my failures. And I overanalyze everything. And so I just replay those failing moments over and over. And that in itself depresses me. And sometimes I just don't do certain things because I don't want to fail and I don't want to feel like that. When it comes to failing, there comes a lot of judgment and embarrassment. I already get judged every day for being overweight. Now, when you're on a weight loss journey and let's say people knows about it, they're always judging you for everything that you do. Oh, you should be taking the stairs instead of the elevator since you're on a weight loss journey. Or you shouldn't be eating that. You're on a weight loss journey. Or you're trying to lose weight. This and that. Everybody becomes judge and jury when it comes to your weight loss. Like, first of all, can a girl live? Can I? Can I? I overanalyze everything. That is a character flaw of mine, and I know that. And by overanalyzing things, I'm just like, oh, I shouldn't let them know I'm on a journey because they're going to always tell me what to do, always watch my mouth, and I can't do what I want when I want to do it. And it prevents me to do the things I want to do because I'm just so scared about what other people might think. And like I said, that is a character flaw that I'm trying to change in myself because I really don't care what other people think. I just hate that they're thinking what they're thinking. I don't even know if that even makes sense. So technically, I do care what people think. And then certain things people say does embarrass me because they'll say it in front of other people. And I don't like being embarrassed. I don't like that feeling. And I don't think anyone likes that feeling to be embarrassed. So honestly, for me, I'm going to try to do better with not letting people opinions affect me. But also mind your business. If it's not your journey, if it's not your weight loss that you're going through, if it's not your emotional baggage that you're airing out, mind your business. I have a very, I don't know if it's a bad habit, but I'm going to say it's a bad habit for right now because I like to live within my comfort zone. I never stray outside of my comfort zone. And I think if you want to grow, you have to grow, learn to grow outside of your comfort zone. And it might not be true for everyone, but for me, my comfort zone is staying inside my house. I don't usually go out. Because I don't like people like judging me or saying, oh, I'm too big and stuff like that. Like, I honestly stay home. If I go to my friend's house, I go to my friend's house. But like, if I'm not going out clubbing or anything like that. I go to work, I go to school, I go home. And if I go to my friend's house, that's like once a month or something like that. Because one, honestly, I don't have the time. And two, I love my comfort zone. I love just being home, being lazy. That is my comfort zone. But sometimes in a journey, you have to go outside of your comfort zone in order to grow and to do better. And I think that within this journey, I have to learn to be outside of my comfort zone. And I'm not saying that it's a fear, but it is something that I have been reluctant to do. And that's why I haven't really been successful in my weight loss journey previous to this attempt. This is a very superficial, and I'm going to say this now, this is a very superficial fear of mine. So I have a fear of loose skin. And the reason why I have a fear of loose skin is I have a fear of going under the knife. And I don't want to have reconstruction surgery. So I am extremely big. And I honestly don't want to have reconstruction surgery, so I'm fearful that the loose skin that I'm gonna have after I lose the weight is just gonna be significant, and I'm just afraid that it's never gonna go away, and I'm gonna have to live with it. But in hindsight, I'd rather be healthy with loose skin than to be overweight and unhealthy and, on the brinks of death. So those are my fears about losing weight. So like I said, this was a con and con situation. So here are my fears of remaining overweight. And these fears is what jump started my weight loss goals. And being diagnosed with hypertension is the motivation behind remaining on these goals. And previous videos, I've mentioned this before. This is a huge fear of mine. I want to be able to have a family, start a family, and have kids and do all that stuff. But I can't do that if I'm this big. Like, it's unhealthy to be overweight and pregnant. You understand? So why would I do that to the child? Why would I do that to myself? And put me and this unborn child who first of all didn't ask to be here, in an unhealthy situation, an unsafe situation. And being overweight and starting a family for me is not an option, especially because I have PCOS. It's gonna be difficult for me in the first place, so I'm not gonna put myself through that. I'd rather lose the weight. So the next two are kind of like the same thing, but they're not. The first one is being immobile. Like, I don't know if you guys watch My 600-Pound Life, but a lot of them cannot go to the bathroom or in shower, or they're depending on other people to do stuff for them because they cannot move. I don't want that to be me, guys. Who would want that, I don't want to put myself in that situation. So the other part to it is I don't want to depend on anyone. I don't want to depend on my family to take care of me. I don't want to think that they have to bathe me, and I don't want that. I don't want to be dependent on them. I don't want them to be forced to go out and get me the foods that I want because I'm stuck in bed. Like, I want to be able to use my own body to do stuff. I don't want to depend on anybody else to do stuff for me. So that is one of my biggest fears, being immobile and being dependent on my family members. Another fear of mine for being overweight is I want to be able to achieve my dreams. Shout out to the people who are out there doing and living their life to the fullest without thinking of their weight as a restriction. But for me, I'm so self-conscious about my weight, it is restricting me from doing things that I want to do. A lot of the time, my best friend, Nita561, shout out to her channel. Go ahead and take a look at her. Have her link down in the description below. Nita561 calls me up all the time saying, hey girl, I want to go out and do this. I want to go out and do that. I want to go. I always tell her no. And the main reason I tell her no is because I don't want to be that fat friend. I don't want to be that fat friend that goes out with them. That they have to accommodate for. Like, we have to go on a bigger booth, or we have to do this and do that, and they have to. Like, I don't want to be that girl. Honestly, don't. And I can't live my life the way I want to live it because I'm so fearful of being that girl. Like, I want to be able to travel. Like, when I'm done with school, I want to be able to travel the world and understand how people live and be able to experience how people live. And I want to be able to do that, but I can't do that if I'm paying two tickets for one seat. Like, I want to do so many things with my life that my weight is hindering me from doing. Like, I want to go skydiving, I want to go bungee jumping, I want to be able to experience life to the fullest, but I can't do that with my weight. It restricts me. Like, I'm afraid that if I go bungee jumping, I'll die. Like, the bungee cord would break off, or I'd have a heart attack in the middle of jumping. Like, just, I know anybody can have a heart attack, but for me, these are real fears within me that prevents me to do things with my life because of my weight. I'm not saying that when I lose weight, I'm going to magically be unfearful of death. No, I'm saying that if I am good to my body will be good to me. And I've been so bad to my body that I'm surprised it's taking until now for it to start fighting back. You understand? My biggest fear of remaining overweight will have to be dying. Sometimes I can't fall asleep at night because I'm thinking that I'm gonna die in my sleep. Like, I'll stop breathing, my sleep apnea will act up, and then I'll die, you know? Like, or the other times that I can't sleep is when I binge eat and then the food is still like up here and I feel like the food will suffocate me. Now, this is me just being completely honest and real with you. Like, that is a huge fear of mine, that sometimes I have insomnia because I'm too afraid to go to sleep. And I'll close my eyes and I'll jump back up because I'm thinking that I'm dying. Or sometimes I will, if I binge eat, I will stop breathing, or I'll regurgitate and wake up. Like, that is scary. That is scary. Like, ever since that happened, I haven't really binged eat. But I still eat way too much. You understand? Not to the point where the food is right here, but I'm still eating way too many calories in a day. And I know that. But to me, I don't care. I'm just eating just to feel that full feeling. And it's a disgusting habit that I need to learn how to get over. And I have a lot of fears, guys. I do. Some people think that it's easy. It's not easy to get over your fears, but it's much easier than living through them day by day. So I'm just going to have to learn to either live with them or get over them. And I'd rather get over them and then to remain the way I am. But like I said in the beginning of the video, this is a con and con situation. But the fear of remaining overweight, the fears that I have for remaining overweight completely outweighs the fear that I have for losing weight. So, of course, I'm going to be on this journey to do better for myself, but it's also to help me with these fears too. So, if you guys have any fears about losing weight, about remaining overweight, let me know in the comment below. Go ahead and subscribe to this video and be part of this journey with me. I'm so very grateful and thankful for all my new subscribers. Thank you so much, guys. Stay tuned for my next video. It's going to be dropping later today. It's going to be my weigh-in, what my goals are for the year, what my plan is, my measurements, and everything like that. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.